What's up, people? Welcome back to the Red Devil Circle. Welcome to the show. We have a lot to get into, guys. It's been just a lot of updates that will excite us. It feels like a light at the end of the tunnel. Not in the grandest way, but maybe this you like cracking. You just going through the tunnel, and there's a little crack, and there's just a little ray of hope. That's how I'll call it. But yeah, definitely it's felt that way today because the news coming out about the exits are just they're like a steady shower of rain, and of course for the most part it might be agent talks and whatnot trying to get their players' names in there where it should be and where it shouldn't be, but there's no smoke without fire, right? So I feel like I feel like this concrete credibility to the stuff that's coming out today. But before I go into it, please guys take a second, subscribe, share, and show your love for the efforts to get this video out there for you guys. But yeah, that's it. That's as much as I'm gonna say on that. But thank you guys for watching. For those who watch, and yeah, give it a thumbs up, and let's build this community together. And please engage in the chat, and I'll shout you out um, if you become like a regular. Obviously, that's how you build relationships out here. So yeah, get engaged in the chat, and yeah, let's get into the news, right? So Fabrizio came out earlier, right, and said that Chelsea have Alejandro Garnacho as one of the options they would want for a forward player, and they're looking to sign a winger. Obviously, having sold Madueke to Arsenal, it's not rocket science to figure that they'll want a replacement. So yeah, I don't feel I don't feel like it's a deal which I wouldn't be open to doing. But if they're gonna try to do a swap deal for Alejandro Garnacho and then Nicholas Jackson coming to us and Garnacho going the other way, I would not be interested in that. That's why I draw the line because um, though I'm not part of the opinions that who say Nicholas Jackson is absolutely shit. I do not think so. I think he misses chances, but it comes with growth and it comes with fortifying your mind as a striker to know that in those positions you've worked hard enough and you're familiar enough to consistently deliver the right results when you get in those positions in the future. It takes growth, and yeah, he might be missing chances now, but he's one player that always gets himself in the position to miss those chances. So I'm not here to shit on Nicholas Jackson at all. He's a good player. There's definitely growth there to happen. He's still 24 apparently, or something like that. I'm not sure, but he's still a young player, nevertheless. But I'm more sold on the fact that Chelsea has sold us so much shit. Just starts to feel like they're robbing us off. I would rather not go close to any deal with Chelsea anymore. And also the fact that they bought young talent, and Garnacho might have a bigger, he might have a much bigger level to scale to. He might have a much upper trajectory to come in the future. So, and we're selling them, so we're gonna be giving him to our rivals. So I don't want to feel robbed off in that deal. So I'd rather that we stay away from that deal. Focus on getting him to somewhere else, maybe a Newcastle or I don't know, Aston Villa, like he liked, posting the picture earlier with Marcus Rashford's Aston Villa shirt. Um, so far, the reports are that the 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 candidate, the Premier League club candidate that's furthering the deal for Garnacho is Aston Villa, but then you also have Chelsea who have inquired about him and or who have him as an option on their list. I think Newcastle is also one of them. I'm not sure, but definitely Aston Villa and Chelsea. And I just want to say, like, we need to stay away from deals with Chelsea, especially a deal like that. If it goes wrong, it's gonna look really bad on us. So I'd rather we stay away from that. Moving on, I'm gonna talk about the other exits and hence how I started this video. I said there's a crack in the tunnel, just a ray of sunlight, and it feels really good because it seems like the exits are starting to unfold. There's so many news around the exits. There's up to 5 clubs inquiring about Anthony. So there's Real Betis where he just played, completed his loan spell. I think they're the top front runners for him. And then we also have Brighton, who's inquired about him, and um, Leverkusen, Eric Ten Hag looking to maybe get a reunion, which doesn't really make a lot of sense to me because when he was in Manchester United, Ten Hag wasn't making use of him a lot. So I don't get what the relationship between them is there. Um, I would think that Sancho wouldn't want to go play for a manager who's sat him on the bench on purpose in so many occasions, especially at Manchester United. So yeah, not my cup of tea. We're a United channel, but apparently Leverkusen is also looking at him. Brighton is looking at him. Um, there's like 3 more clubs looking at him as well. Yeah, I think it's Newcastle as well who's in for Anthony, but this club's in for Anthony for sure, and that's very interesting to see what he's gonna choose going forward. But the biggest one there is Chelsea going in for Garnacho. Having Garnacho as the options as an option, which was broken by Fabrizio Romano a few hours ago. So that it's interesting to look at, and I just like that the stories about the exits are coming out now. Um, whereas like a couple of weeks ago or a week ago, there was like no there was no motion in that. There was no motion in the exits, as Gen Z would tell you. It was lacking motion. So I'm absolutely delighted with that. And moving on, um, there's just recent reports, like maybe 30 minutes to an hour ago, from Demarcio saying that Juventus and they've not only submitted the bid for Sancho, but they also made inquiry about getting Marcus Rashford as well. I mean, this is just one of the best news on here. I mean, it's like trying to sell your used stuff on OfferUp, and you've gone on there and not only packaged all your used stuff, and you've not only sold them, but you sold them for a very good price. You got a very good deal for something you've already used and you don't really need. That's what it feels like to me. And Rashford, if they're gonna get Rashford and Sancho out of our hands for a good price, and we could get a good deal out of them, that's absolutely That's absolutely amazing. I mean, they've submitted a 15 million bid according to reports for Jadon Sancho. Manchester United initially wanted 25 million, and Sancho alongside his agent won 5 million termination fee from Manchester United. Um, so yeah, it's obviously it's left to see if we're gonna accept that because the bid has already been tabled. So that'll be interesting. We'll have to pay 4.3 million. I think is a severance package. That's how you say it. Uh, I feel like we have to take that. We have to 15 million is good enough. I mean, if, especially if they're gonna get Sancho and Rashford out of our hands, I don't see I don't see why Barcelona would sign Rashford. Obviously, if they're not able to get Diaz or anything, um, the step up is just exactly like there was a legend of Manchester United that came out earlier and said that Rashford didn't deserve the step up from Manchester United to um to Barcelona. Let me know in the chat if you had seen that article. Um, it was in an interview that he said that. So if you know the legend that came out and said that, let me know in the chat. But I think he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right saying that because um, yeah, to be honest, he doesn't deserve it because the way he's acted in Manchester United. I mean, for a coach to come out and say that you're not trying hard enough, obviously he gave Garnacho a second chance. What happened to you? You know what I mean? Like people are out there getting a second chance, and you just decide to be a nuisance to the club. Um, yeah. And then just the way he's acted outside of Manchester United, just offering yourself to Spain. He's just ridiculous. He looks a joke sometimes. The stuff he does. I mean, saying that Thierry Henry is your goat. Just he looks so he looks really bad. The things he's been doing um outside of Manchester United. So I'd rather not keep someone like that around, and it just makes me feel like it's a thorn in the flesh, and when it's been taken out, you feel a relief. Like so, I really agree with what the legend said there. I'll have to look his name up. But yeah, if you know about that interview in the chat, let me know about it. Tell me the name in the comments. But yeah, we have to. If this is a good deal we can get with Juventus, get a good negotiation and get a good price for Sancho and Marcus Rashford to exit Manchester United, that'll be awesome. And he also plays well for Juventus because, mind you, Napoli is there doing serious deals. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne and Scott McTominay. And it's always funny because if you look at the trend, Romelu Lukaku, everyone who leaves the Premier League as kind of a flop, but they still have something left in them. You get what I mean? And they go to Italy, they tend to do very well. So this will be great for Juventus as well. It's a win-win situation. Seriously, I'm not trying to big up our fallen players, but it's really a win-win situation, and I'll back them to do well in the Serie A, supposing they keep their head on the ground. So yeah, if we can get this done, all the best to them. I'm just excited that there's more news about the exits, which means there's more motion, there's more it's more tangible that we get this exits done and we can focus on the things we need to do in terms of incomings. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it.